All right, sir. Are you recording?
I am now.
Let me just go ahead and fix my hair for just a minute.
Mm,
Just hold on a second.
mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
It's kind of warm and it's kind of uncomfortable in here sometimes when I'm doing the podcast. I just want to make sure my hair is good. I don't even know where that voice came from. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Don't Get Your Hopes Up, where we talk about stuff that we do every week and things that we notice in the media that we feel like we need to talk about because that's what we do on the show. We talk about things.
Yes, because we're full of ourselves, and so we believe that you care deeply about what we have to say about whatever we're talking about, really.
There's that there. Yeah, we could also say that these are the things that we would normally talk about amongst ourselves, and we're recording it hoping
Because
that,
we're full of ourselves.
God damn it, there's no way to escape it. There's just no way to escape it.
Yeah.
Damn it. All right, well,
Maybe you will find it entertaining how full of ourselves we are.
that was a perfect moment to throw in a Don't Get Your Hopes Up.
Yeah, maybe you'll find it entertaining, but don't get your
Get your
hopes
hopes up. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I'll just
Maybe we won't talk about Destiny this week, but don't get your
get
hopes up.
Yeah, see? So it was a light week this week. Not a ton of stuff. I mean, like there's stuff that happens like every week, you know, but this week it just wasn't quite as eventful or interesting as it has been previously. That's kind of interesting. That doesn't necessarily mean that we don't have a lot to say about the things that we've, pulled for this. I mean, what's happening this week? Mordor came out,
Yeah.
and maybe that's why nothing's happening, because everyone that usually causes all the bullshit is either playing Destiny or Mordor, and then
The entire internet went, hang on. Let's stop. Let's just stop being offensive for a week. We're gonna quit hating on like women developers and stuff. We're just gonna go play Mordor for a bit. We'll pick this back up later.
someone write this down. I want to forget where I left off.
Someone somewhere has like a forum post that they've copied and pasted into Notepad about how some developer is just pandering to social justice warriors or something. And they're like, no. I gotta save this one. First, I gotta go play me some Mordor.
There's just too much shit going on. I need a guy who actually playing games.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This week, gamers actually played video games.
Oh man. Well, how amazing is that? Jesus. But we talked about when Destiny came. We talked about the review scores and everything, and the scores for Destiny were a little lackluster. It's Bungie's lowest rated game.
Yeah.
Can't stop playing it though.
Yeah.
Don't know why yet, but Mordor actually got really good scores, from like all but like one major publication. I mean, there's probably more, but for the most part, they just got like really good scores across the board.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people seem to be really, really liking it. Like, I haven't played it yet, but like tons of streamers have been playing it. Like everybody's like, oh my God, like even Total Biscuit like had nothing negative to say about it. Well, nothing negative by Total Biscuit standards, which means there was a bunch of negative stuff, but he always followed it up with, but that's not that big of a deal or whatever. But that's not too bad.
That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Wow, that was really impressive. Holy crap. Shizzle's playing it. Like he's playing it like in between DayZ or Destiny.
Shizzle manages to spend every waking hour on like 3 or 4 different games at once.
I don't know when he sleeps, dude, because he'll get on stream 9:00 and then we'll talk, especially if there's like a new game out or something and he's like playing, like we'll talk about it, like we'll get on Skype and we'll bullshit like in the morning while I'm like working out trying to wake up, right? And then he'll message me, like he messaged me today at like 1:00 or 2:00, something like that. He's all like, hey, I found a new farming spot. I'm gonna farm for an hour starting now. And then he comes back an hour later with like a report. He's like, hey, it was all right, got this many engrams, whatever, da. And I'm like, are you gonna fucking sleep? Like, what is going on? Like, he was up all night and then he's still playing throughout the entire day.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Like I think at this point I probably have a pretty impressive like slash played in Destiny. As a matter of fact, I can actually go and see that. I totally forgot I could do that. That's gonna be painful. Oh god. But this guy, like, he needs to run Raptor because I want to know how much time he spends in just games in general. No specific game, just in general.
Yeah, he's probably like logged into some game all of the time. Like, just leaves it running so that he doesn't have to bother starting it up again later.
Yeah. Like my PS4 running right now. Yep.
And that's fair though, because Destiny load times are approximately 6 years. So it's a good idea to just leave your PS4 running in orbit and just check in on it every once in a while so you don't get kicked out.
But
set an alarm, wake up every 30 minutes.
But this isn't about Destiny though. We're talking about Mordor, Shadows of Mordor, and how again like Shizzle played it and he was explaining some of the mechanics, things he was doing and everything, and he actually thoroughly enjoyed it. And I was like, oh well, snap, that's good. Like we've had I think 2 good games so far this holiday season, which we're basically approaching like in right now.
Yeah. And
there's just so much stuff. I mean, there's some World of Warcraft expansion thing coming out too, I guess.
Yeah.
People will probably get into that a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, 9 point something, 9.3 IGN, like a 4.5 stars, something, and like it gave I think a GameSpot or something. Then I think even Polygon gave it like a 9 or something like that, 9 something. The best comment that I saw on Reddit though, that was pretty funny, that because it was like had a 1 vote, so like sorting funny, was like 9.6, huh? That bad? It's like yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people definitely have been very into Mordor. I would love to play it, but like I have too many other games that I'm trying to play at the moment. Like obviously I'm trying to get as much time into Destiny as I can.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm not playing Destiny, lately I've been playing Counter-Strike. And when I'm not playing Destiny or Counter-Strike, I'm playing WoW. So there is no remaining time. Like when I'm not doing any of the above, I'm asleep or working or dead. One of those 3.
Yeah, I am pretty much playing. I am basically playing Destiny straight. Oh my god, I just looked up my hours. Holy shit. Wow.
What's the damage?
Just in PvE, it's like 24 hours. No, 48 hours of playtime. And supposedly this does not count in orbit. And my PvP time is 20 hours.
That's not too bad.
How many matches? Only 126 matches though. Which I actually thought it'd be more than that.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna come back with like, oh, I've spent 300 hours in Destiny or something.
No, not. I'm getting there. I mean, I'm approaching.
Approaching like a 1/6 of that.
I mean, okay, no, I'm getting there. Okay, you're right. Yeah, it's pretty much. All right. Well, whatever. It's funny. Like the second I go to do this, now I found a bug and I have to go and like plug it in and be like, hey, just broke.
That's what you get for checking something work related in the middle of a podcast.
I know, exactly. It's okay. I just pasted a screenshot and said broke. Somebody will figure it out.
Nice.
Anyway, so I think the reason why we brought up the whole Mordor and like the rating thing was actually specifically because of how people go about looking for their like the 9 point whatever and like all that stuff and being put in lights is like that's great for I think like the pleb commoner, but for like I think for people who especially like those who like watch listen to this podcast
for the true video game connoisseur.
Yeah, it's like if you've stumbled across this podcast, you're not one of the mainstream. Sorry if that's what you're looking for, but you're absolutely not one of the mainstream. You're probably not looking at scores and saying, I should buy this game, or I should not buy this game, based off the score that I saw on Polygon or whatever. You're probably gonna, when you're done with this, of course, go to Angry Joe, or go to Total Biscuit, or go to whatever, and, or go watch a Shizzle stream or something, and then you're gonna base it off of that.
Yeah. Yeah, like, nowadays, Like when I want to know if I should play a game, like assuming that I'm not like in the beta and I get to play it myself. That's sort of like, it's one of two ways for me. Either it's in beta and I'm like, okay, cool, I've gotten to this beta and I'm able to play around with it for a little bit and sort of figure it out from there if it's something that I want to keep playing or not. Or I go and watch somebody else play it. And half the time I'm not even listening to what they're saying. I'm just watching how the gameplay looks in the actual playing, and that's how I decide whether or not I want to pick up a game or not. Like, honestly, I was watching some videos on Shadow of Mordor, and is it Shadow of Mordor? Shadows of Mordor? Something of something?
There's probably more than one.
There's only one shadow in Mordor. No, but like I was watching some of the gameplay of it, and I was like, yeah, I can see why people would like this, but it doesn't look like it's for me. So I haven't been in a super big hurry to play it. I'll probably play it at some point, but I'm not like going, oh yeah, screw Destiny, I'm gonna play that instead. Screw Counter-Strike even, I'm gonna play that instead. Like lately, I've been feeling the first-person shooters, so Mordor looks like one of those open world sort of games that I'll play for 10 minutes and then get ADD and wander off. I've just never been able to stick to those games very well. So
yeah. You know, like when I look at the gameplay and everything, it's like I classify this game as a the gameplay style. It's like, oh yeah, it's like Legacy of Kain. For some reason, every game that is this, you know, that is not a modern day or futuristic third person open world, I'm like, oh yeah, it's Legacy of Kain style, basically. And you know, when I watch it, it's like, okay, it looks cool, looks fun. It's not really my genre because I'm way more into modern or sci-fi. But Diablo 3 was not my style until 2.0 came out, and then like all of a sudden I was like, fuck, I'm hooked. Like, I've always bitched about like, you know, isometric point of view and all that stuff. Like, I never liked it, But when I actually sat down and played, ROS, I was like, holy crap! And it was good. It was a great experience for somebody who, again, does not like that genre or anything actually that sticks an isometric fixed camera on your on the game. It's like, no, I'd rather not. So I mean, something like this is like, it looks really interesting. I like that you can, like, there's so much freedom ish, right? There's the illusion of freedom and things that you could do in the game, and it's enough to, you know, actually work, I guess, or to make you feel like you're making a difference here and there. Yeah. That kind of stuff is interesting.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing that tends to turn me off of games, honestly. Like, maybe I'm just too dumb for them, but like, I like games that have structure and have a path to follow. And like, I've never been able to finish Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas. I finished Fallout 1 and 2 because there was sort of a path to follow the whole way through. And there was a bunch of side stuff that you could do, but there was always that like central like theme of, you got to get a water chip, you got to save your tribe and stuff. Mm-hmm. But like Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, I've played for like 100 hours each, and both times I just eventually wander off and get lost, and I'm like, okay, it's not so much that I get like angry at the game and decide I'm gonna stop playing it. I just don't launch it anymore after a certain point. Like, I sit down and I'm like, play something else. I'll play some League of Legends or something. I don't know. And that's sort of the issue that I played Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon once. I was like, this game is awesome, man. This is amazing. And then the next day I was like, I'm over it. So I just think open world and I don't get along.
So Grand Theft Auto 5, I've actually not done any of the campaign. Like, none. Zero. I mean, I'm at the point, I guess, where, I guess you have to go through like some of it in order to actually get into the game, period, right?
Yeah.
So I did that part.
Yeah, I did. I'm the same way. I did the intro bit, and then it was like, now you can play multiplayer. And I was like, okay, I'll do that instead. And then I stopped playing it too.
I mean, we lost a lot of hours. I don't know about you. You were there with us for a lot of it, but we definitely put in some serious hours into multiplayer.
Yeah.
And you know, that's open world, and I think they did it right. With the exception of good.
I was just say, I feel like open world with other people, where you're like running around and there's always like somebody in the group that can be like, let's do this sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a little bit different than when you're doing open world single player. At least for me, it's different when I'm doing open world single player, and it's like, okay, I have all these options. I'm not really interested in any of them, and
Right.
I don't have somebody that's then saying, let's go do this thing.
Yeah,
or something
exactly.
like that.
They'll push you through that, but then the next thing when you want to do, then
Yeah.
it's like you hit that wall. It's like I don't really feel like doing that, and I don't know if there's anything after this. Fuck it. But if someone else is
Yeah.
there, is like, hey man, this is knock it out, right? And you do it, and after that, you're like, oh hey, there's a fun thing here that I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's probably why I think it was EA that said that from now on, like every game is gonna have some kind of multiplayer on it or some shit. Like, it was like,
Maybe.
it was EA or for somebody else.
Yeah, I
But,
don't remember.
But yeah, maybe that's why it's like they know that we want to play with people, but we also like don't want to like like play with our friends or like we do and we also don't.
Friends.
Like we do and we also don't. It's kind of like Facebook where like I want to have like all my friends there, so I kind of every once in a while I keep up, but on my own terms. Like I want to
Yeah.
be able to get on and see it on my own terms. It's kind of like the whole thing with like playing with your friends. It's like I don't want to commit to anything, but if they happen to be on at the same time I'm on, then I'm down. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to go and do anything.
Yeah, exactly. I've got so many friends that are playing Destiny, and I have not played with most of them at all. Ever. I've done like 2 Crucible matches with
Like
you.
who? With me?
Yeah, I've done like 2 Crucible matches with you, and there's another guy from my WoW guild that I've done like a strike with. And that's about it. The rest of the time, it's like, well, I can play Destiny for the next 30 minutes. Nobody's on. And, like, at this point, I don't even look. I'm just like, yeah, I'll just log on and do a strike or something.
Yeah, that is pretty much it. But whenever I do, like, a strike or something, I'll like, bring some friends. But, yeah, that's the mentality, though. It's like, there's people there, but, I could probably just do this myself, and then, let's go do this. Or, it's like, I just kind of want to go and farm for a little bit and whatever, and then, yeah, that's it. But, interesting. So, apparently Mordor's pretty good. You should probably go and watch some YouTubers talk about it.
Yeah.
That's the gist.
Yeah. Well, that topic's done.
In other news, I kept looking at this other topic. I'm like, there's no way to transition into this one.
Yeah. So you should go watch this on YouTube. And YouTubers get games that they then play.
Oh, this is a good transition. This is good.
Yeah.
Keep
I
going.
thought so.
There's more, though, I think, right?
For free.
For
There we
free.
go.
What? So this article popped up, and it came up on Gama Sutra, and it was kind of like a blog piece posted by one of the writers, and it got my attention because of the title. The title of the article is "How to Get Every Game on Steam for Free."
That's definitely one of those let's get as many clicks on this as possible sort of titles.
But here's the thing: it was on
How
Gama
to get every
Sutra.
game on Steam and their controllers.
But yeah, but it was on
Wearing a horse mask.
But it was on Kama Sutra. Oh god, wearing a horse mask. Oh god, it's so gaming related. Yes,
It is.
It's the horse mask on it. Yay. But coming from Gama Sutra, that's why I got my attention, because if I read that from any other site associated with horse masks, I would probably not have clicked on it, because it'd be like, oh, clickbait. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
But again, because of them, and I went and I read the article.
One easy trick to get every game on Steam for free. Grow your Steam library by up to 6 inches. I don't know.
Yeah, right. 12-year-old finds the simple secret to getting every game on Steam. You won't believe when you read it or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh god.
One secret trick that Valve doesn't want you to know.
We're gonna start seeing stuff like that, like as we age and they start trying to cater to our older demographic, right? They're gonna start doing really stupid stuff like that. Oh,
Yeah.
Return of the flashy GIF ad. Oh god.
Doing it like ironically.
That's the way to do it.
Congratulations, you've been selected to receive 2 free whatever the newest iPad is.
Yes. Yeah. The iPad. I don't know, whatever they're gonna call it then.
iPad Nano. It's an iPad but really small, but it's not an iPhone. That's a different thing.
Yes. Oh God. So what this guy did was he ran a little bit of a test, right? Just to kind of the TLDR of it. He ran a bit of a test where he sent a whole bunch of emails out to various developers and everything, like direct email, indie developers. And he basically said that they have a he has a pretty popular YouTube channel and they want stuff, and want free keys. And he said he got a pretty decent selection. Here he goes. I sent out 46 emails, which took me about 2 hours in total. In reply, I got 16 keys for 15 games, worth more than $400. Allow me to underline this. I spent 3 hours sending out emails to almost 50 developers, simply asking them for a Steam key, claiming that I was a YouTuber with 50,000 subscribers. In return, I received Steam keys worth over $400. This means I could have theoretically made close to $150 per hour. Imagine what I could accomplish if I were working on it 8 hours a day. Then multiply that by imagining that I sent out 10 fake emails to each developer. Just go to the auctions and see how many of your games are being traded. So this is an article that is supposed to be catering to, or supposed to be speaking to other devs. But I thought it was really interesting having, obviously been in the position where I was in this segue period, where I wasn't. I was getting known. I had like 25,000 or something like that. I was getting known. I had some subscribers and everything, but I wasn't really out there. And I was emailing people, emailing these devs, and what I would do is I'd go to the I would use Desura, because that's where all the indies used to be, and I would send the messages direct on there, or I'd go. I mean, there's a billion other ways to do it, but you'd go and you find these devs on Twitter or whatever, and you just send them an @ message, hey, can you hook me up, whatever. And usually they would comply. They'd say, oh yeah, here's a key for the thing. I never thought that I always thought that they did the research, that they would look at my name and then they would say, search for AKA Mike B. And then they would go and find the YouTube channel and they would see that I wasn't bullshitting or something. But according to this article here, like they get so many of these that they're just like, here's a key. Here's a key. And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just lazy, really. Okay. I mean, sure, there's a ton of them. Like, I can obviously speak from the perspective of seeing tons of requests for keys constantly. Like, the number of requests that I've personally gotten for Warlords beta keys or Heroes keys or Hearthstone keys when that was still in beta, like, it's ridiculous. But, like, from my perspective, like, unless... Like, sure, if somebody sends me a tweet or something and they're like, hey, I'm a YouTube channel, I've got a ton of subscribers, and we'd really like to feature Warlords, I might, like, click on their name on Twitter and see, oh, this guy's got 30,000 followers, I wonder what his YouTube channel's like, and they'll link the YouTube channel usually, and that's, like, 10 seconds worth of work, and then I can look at it, and if it's something that I think might be worth pursuing, then I'll send it over to our guy who actually handles all that stuff. Because I don't, so don't ask me for keys.
Yes.
I've not seen a single Warlords or Hearthstone or Heroes of the Storm beta alpha key ever. So I'm not your guy, just for the record.
And in case you're fast forwarding through the episode and you just got to this part right here, he doesn't have any keys.
I don't.
Doesn't have any keys, just so you know. Yeah. Okay, good.
I just remind people of that constantly. I'm just going to make that my Twitter bio, is that I don't have any keys.
Oh, yeah, you should. And you have 2 Twitter accounts, too, so I bet, you're just,
Yeah. Oh, the worst is when, like, people send me, like, I get it. People are lazy, and they're just going to go, and, like, they all get to me in some capacity. But, like, when people send me, like, hey, there's this bug I found on my personal account, or when they, like, are talking about, like, don't get your hopes up and tagging me at CM Lore, it's like, okay, you guys, come on now. One of these is clearly the other one. They both direct people to the, whatever, it doesn't matter. Not important. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so, like, we get a ton of requests for keys, but our general, like, response, and this is probably just because we're Blizzard and we can afford to, but it's sort of like, well, unless there's some reason to believe them, we don't. And part of that is because we get so many people who are trying to do exactly what this article is talking about and going, yeah, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel soon, but I need a key.
Exactly. I'm gathering keys so I could create a channel, and it's like, no.
Yeah, no. But yeah, like I can totally see an indie dev who is just sitting there and like, especially with the amount of money that some indie devs can actually make off of each sale. Like if they look at this thing and go, well, if I get 2 sales off of this, it's worth it for me to give this guy a key. So like it's easy for them to say, okay, I don't even care if this guy actually has 50,000 subscribers. I'll just give a key to absolutely everyone, because in the grand scheme of things, the number of people that me giving this key ends up being worthless is probably not going to be enough to outweigh the number of people who I give it to, and then they get 3 people to buy it or something.
Yeah, and these people weren't going to buy the shit anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like these guys are going to be like, oh, you didn't send me a key? Well, I guess we'll go buy the game. No, they're just looking for stuff to make content on.
Yeah. Now that this article is out there, I suspect we will start to see a lot more people actually sending these sort of like, hey, I'm totally famous, send me a key sort of emails. And so at this point, maybe that doesn't work anymore. Maybe as an indie dev, you do need to start looking at that a lot more, just because these people are like, now that people know that they can do this, they're going to. And now you are getting into the area where they would have bought it, except that instead now you gave it to them for free. Because like, if I have the choice between keeping my $5 or not, I'm gonna go for keep my $5.
Yeah, no, it's it's at the same time, you know, with people, obviously this increasing. At the same time, I'm sure that indie developers, because this is an article that's supposed to be geared towards indie devs, and it was on Gama Sutra. And let's be real, like how many like actual like gaming consumers, like the average gaming consumer, like actually goes out of their way to read Gama Sutra? Yeah, like it's not. It's more of an industry.
It did end up making it to like a Polygon did a piece on it too.
Oh, they did.
So, yeah, so like the article is sort of making the rounds a little bit. And I think it's just because of the, like, partially because of the clickbait title.
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows, oh, I can just get a ton of clicks if I tell people how to get every game on Steam for free. I'll do that too. I would not be surprised if it shows up on, like, Kotaku and Joystick and them also.
Yeah. Yeah, it would make us hipsters, kind of, right? Because we
talk.
Yeah. Oh, God. If only we recorded the pre-show. It was that for like 10 minutes. Some statement of something followed by yeah.
We're very good at entertainment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Man, what else is going on? What else is, I mean, like, there's no transition. Windows 10.
Yeah. What else happened this week? Well, Windows 10.
Windows 10. I was like, wait a minute. So somebody found a post, I guess in an AMA or something like that, or somewhere on Reddit, that was supposedly a Microsoft dev, and he said, the guy said, I don't actually know why they made the decision to do that, but I have a feeling, there's rumors that it's because of this specific call, and it was basically a chunk of code, and it was a way that it was a common way that you would look at the operating system, and them going, I guess, with 9 or something like that was not going to be, like, I don't know. The thing is, that's a little bit out of my thing, but they were saying it was because of some weird coding thing. It would have been awkward, and you know what? I kind of believe that, because I don't believe that being as the reason why they skipped 9 and went to 10. I believe that that's one of those things that some guy who wanted to pitch the crazy idea of fucking skipping an entire number could be like, hey, we could say Windows 10. It's going to be all new. We could say it's a new generation. It's a new decade. By the way, these guys over here in dev, they said that, you know, these devs are saying that. Like you could back it up.
Like somebody in some meeting is like, no, we should totally skip Windows 9 and go to Windows 10. And everybody's like, no, but that doesn't make any sense. We should be at Windows 9. And like guy's like losing his argument. So eventually he just busts out, well, the devs say that they can't do 9. So The numbers don't go that high. We have to go to 1-0.
Exactly. Somebody started some kind of weird, like, 2K conspiracy thing, like, year 2000, Y2K conspiracy internally. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, honestly, the reason that I thought they skipped 9 was because of the standard, like, Windows, like, standard operating procedure of skip every other version. So, like, if they go from Windows 7 to Windows 10, like, you're going to feel like that's an upgrade no matter what. If you're on Windows 8 already and Windows 9 comes out, maybe you don't feel like it's big enough of an upgrade. Maybe you think, brilliant. I'll just stick with Windows 8.
You know what? I think you kind of mentioned this before and it didn't click because in my head I was thinking, yeah, it's the next version after Windows 8. That's what I'm going to go to. But yeah, you're right. Someone out there is gonna be like, "Oh shit!" And like, I posted that.
Windows is on 10 already.
Yeah, I posted that when I was like, Windows 10, and I posted that like, "What year is it?" Thing from Jumanji, right? Like, there are people who are going to see that Windows 10 is out and be like, "Oh shit! What? Holy crap!
How am I this far behind?" Yeah.
I know, what did I do?
Yeah, because like the way that you Windows, the proper way to be a PC owner who uses Windows is to skip every other version because every other version sucks.
Yes.
Like there was Windows 3.x and then there was Windows 3.1 and that sucked, and then Windows 3.11 came out and that was good.
Yes.
And then
Windows was Windows 95.
Yeah, Windows 95 was okay. Windows 98 was better. Windows
Are we skipping?
Well, I guess you could call like NT and stuff in there, but like those were intended for servers, so I kind of don't think of them in the same like thing. But there was like Windows 90.
No Windows 97 love. What's up?
Oh, was there a Windows 97?
No.
I forgot about it.
Actually, no, I don't think I did. It went right to Windows 98.
Yeah, I thought it did too. Like Windows 95 was all right. Windows 98 was the best at the time. Then it was like Windows ME, which was awful.
Yeah. Windows XP was good.
Windows XP was good.
Yes.
Windows Vista was
terrible.
Windows 7 was good.
Was fantastic.
Windows 98 is just weird. And so now we have...
How do we go back? How do we go from Windows 7 to Windows 98? See, that's the problem.
Or Windows 8. Yeah,
see, that's the problem that we're having with the codes and stuff.
Maybe that's part of it too. Is like if they said Windows 9, people would think like Windows 95 all over again, sort of thing.
Oh yeah, maybe yeah. That's another good argument when you're losing an argument.
Because I know that people used to, like, and maybe this ties into what you were talking about. Is it used to be that you would refer to. Like if you had a version of a program that was built for Windows 95 or 98, you would say Win9X.
Yeah.
So maybe they're worried about Win9, like in that capacity. Yeah,
because you know what? I always say Win7x64. For my, it's like Win7 and then so.
It used to be Win9X.
Yeah. Huh. Again, that's another great argument. When you're losing an argument, I'm sure there was a vision here. Like there
also,
was a guy who had
as far as numbers go, 9 kind of looks like it has a penis. So
they want to get that together.
Good number to avoid.
And they went right for the penis and vagina.
Yeah. You got to be inclusive.
Yeah.
That's the real reason.
Good on Microsoft.
Yeah, good work, guys.
Gosh.
Way to think about these things.
Oh man. Did you have an opportunity to actually go through and look at the feature list and everything?
Very briefly, and I don't remember most of it.
Yeah.
I remember like a ton of people are like, I remember looking at it and they're like, oh, we brought back the start menu. And so I'm like, oh, thank God. Like that was the biggest reason why I was not even interested in Windows 8 was it's like, I don't want to have to relearn how to Windows. I've been Windowsing for decades.
Yes. And that's the thing. The thing about Windows 8 is that Windows 8 was bad. Windows 8.1 kind of helped a little bit. There's actually a start menu like mask or whatever you want to call it, right? That would actually it's a mod that you download, and it would replace that shitty Windows 8 start menu thing, which actually just leads right to the Metro board thing, the dashboard, whatever it's called. It replaces it with an actual start menu. So yes, they are gonna bring back the start menu, which is fantastic. It's a little beefier. Like, right now, if you go to start menu, like on Windows 7, you have like the side panel there. Like, there's the regular list that's been around forever. And then there's like the little panel on the side that has like your picture, and then like a couple of the quick links or something.
Yeah, documents, control panel, that sort of stuff.
Exactly. But they've expanded out a little bit, so it's actually a bit more kind of like a widget dashboard of sorts.
Yeah, which is cool. Like, I've always thought it's weird that you can't customize any of the stuff that's over there on Windows 7 and like put something there. Like, I would like to, like, I guess you can like pin things to your start menu, but then they just show up at the top. Like, it'd be cool if I could put Steam over there or any number of things. And so I'm actually kind of into the like what do they call them, live tiles thing that they're gonna do with the start menu in Windows 10. Because that's something that then, like, there could be a Steam tile that shows up there that, like, has, like, games that your friends are playing or something. So you can just hit your start menu and see, oh, shit, Mike B's playing Counter-Strike. I'll click on this and I'll jump into his game or something. Like, that's cool to me. I can see that being actually, like, a feature that I would use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the big thing for me, and this is, like, the most fucking first world problem you've ever heard in your life. It's right now I'm having a bit of an issue adapting to the ultra wide monitor. One of the main driving points for this monitor was to secondary to this is the fact that I had 4 old ass monitors that were like increasing the temperature of the room by at least 20 degrees. They were like really hot. And 2 of them were like TV monitors, so they were like super hot. But the other is because I really like the ratio. Like, to me, it's like that is the golden ratio. Like, when I go and I shoot like photography stuff, and when I try to frame things, I like to shoot at 69, which is like, regular widescreen. But I started experimenting a little bit with actually trimming it down even more to bring it into this CinemaScope type, old school super wide or ultra wide, I think they're calling it. It's like 2.3 by something. But anyways, so now it's like when I first got it, I went through all my pictures and I was like, wow, it's inspired. I was like going through older pictures that I was like didn't really like because of the framing, and I reframed them in this ratio, and it's like, oh man, this looks really good. And then it's like great, and then it's like, okay, now it's time to work the next day. Holy shit, how do I move my windows around? I have to constantly move things. I'm used to just like left snapping, but when I left snap on this thing, it is huge. So it's like third snap, and like there's all these apps I've been downloading to try to organize this shit, and then Windows 10 comes out with the multi-desktop thing. And it's like, yes.
Yeah.
Like, my Mac has that. I do like a 3-finger swipe, and I can swap between desktops easy.
Yeah, that's really super handy. Like, I'm thinking about it from like a work perspective. Like, at work right now, I've got 2 monitors at work, and I use every single square inch of both of them. Sometimes more, like with windows layered on top of windows layered on top of windows. Like, if I'm like trying to put a shot together in game to capture for a video that I'm working on, like even something as simple as so there's this video that I'm working on. And as part of it, I wanted to have like a shot of 4 characters dancing, because like I'm talking about the new character models. And so I was like, oh, this would be a cool way to show off the new character models, and they're excited and everybody's happy because new character models and stuff. This will be cool. And in order to do that, I needed to have 5 copies of WoW running so that I could have the 4 characters standing there and dancing. Yeah. And of course, like the 4 copies for the 4 characters, like I dropped down to like the 720 by 480 or whatever resolution, and turned all the graphics settings way down so they weren't
multi-boxer.
Yeah, and then I've actually used multi-boxing software on occasion to be able to set up shots at work.
Now you know what it was like to do Blizz Blues.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Except I have way better tools available.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Dude, I have stuff that would make you super sad. I have this.
They just let me have it.
Well, none of it works on public servers because all the functions are disabled on public servers. It only works on like our super special internal like developer servers.
They wanted to give me remote access to the internal servers.
Yeah, why not? Like I have this add-on that I can set it up to where I push a direction and it smoothly pans the camera, and like I let off of the key again and it smoothly slows it down and stops. It's so good.
I hate you so much. I hate you so much. Oh,
it's so nice. I don't use that add-on most of the time though.
Oh, I have access to this, but yeah.
Most of the time I just do it via console commands because I can do that too. Anyway, whatever, doesn't matter. I was setting up this shot and I had to have like obviously the camera guy, I'm making finger quotes, like the character that was watching these characters dancing, just being super creepy like that. I had to have that one like full screen on one monitor so that I could capture it at full screen because I wouldn't want to capture something tiny. And then I had like I use OBS to record because OBS is amazing. I had that plus like the script for the video I was working on, plus like a whole bunch of lists of console commands that I needed to use to set things up just right, plus 4 copies of WoW, like all shoved on my second monitor, like layered on top of each other. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the worst. If I could have one desktop that's setting up that thing and then the other desktop that is just OBS and the camera guy sort of WoW copy that's running. There's some combination of words there that makes that sentence make sense. If I could just have that on one desktop and everything else for the setup on another one, that would be so amazing. That was the point of that entire story. So
we went to a good place with it, I think.
Yeah.
Why? So the desktop organization portion of Windows 10 is definitely one of the biggest selling points for me, and the fact that it's not it's one generation past the next generation from what I'm using right now. Because Windows 7 is fantastic, everything works for it. It supports pretty much anything because it's still supported. And so I'm looking forward to Windows 10. You know what I could even do actually on Windows 10 I mean, assuming that it's a function that will still be in operation when Windows 10 is released, is actually I could go to ELLO. Yeah. Don't laugh. That was good. I worked hard for that one. I worked hard for that one. That was a good setup.
Maybe ELLO will make a Windows 10 live tile.
Oh. It would just be like a white box.
Yeah, with like, what even is that font that they use? I hate that font.
It's like
so
Terminal
much.
or something.
Yeah.
It's totally like an old like some kind of weird Sanskrit or something, like just Terminal font.
Yeah, like it even says like you go to their about page or whatever, it's like simple, beautiful, and ad free. I'm like, okay, it's definitely simple. It's definitely ad free. I'm not getting the beautiful here. This looks like something that I would have gotten in 1980 through a command line. Like, but not even like that. Yep. Like it just I don't think the site looks very good. And like the hard black and white is just annoying for my eyes. Like, no, ELLO, you're ugly. I'm sorry.
Hey, but you know, part of their plan is to monetize. Well, first off, what is ELLO? ELLO is a new social network that was huge last week. Like it was just monstrous. It is, you know, like Laura says, it kind of touts not being Facebook or being anti-Facebook. There are no ads ever, according to the site, of course. And it's just extremely, extremely minimal. Like it's a very minimalist look. Like when you go to it, it's like when you look at it, I'm just like, oh, it looks so pretentious. But Foxy, you know Foxy.
Yeah.
He was on it, and I DM'd him like, yo, you gotta hook me up. And he was all like, "All right, cool." And he sent it to me, and we've been talking about it through DMs back and forth about like the site and what we think, where we think it's gonna go and everything. And it's interesting because something happened over the weekend. Because come Monday, nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
You just got in, right?
Yeah, I just got in today actually.
And so far, what have you done?
So far, I have logged in. I've made one tweet that says, "What is this?" I have changed my avatar, except apparently not, because it doesn't.
How is your name taken on here? Sorry,
Huh?
I went to ello.com/devillore, and it was some other guy.
.co/devilore.
Oh yeah, that's right. They don't even have .com. It's .co. Ello.co.
Yeah, that's me. That's honestly, that's the whole reason that I signed up for it. Is not because I'm particularly interested in ELLO as a social media network. Like, it doesn't have a phone app. I'm not interested. Like, that is how I keep up with Twitter and such, is through my phone. So
its mobile site is pretty good though.
I don't care. I need notifications, or else I will forget about it.
Oh yeah.
I'm the sort of person that, like, I am at some point going to buy a smartwatch, because if I don't have something that pops up somewhere that lets me know about something, I will never know it existed. I just cannot keep track of things. I need to. I'm the sort of person that 30 years ago I would have had like a little ribbon tied around every single finger to try and remember various things, because I just have. I grew up around things that remember stuff for me, so I never developed an actual memory.
Like phone numbers.
Yeah.
I can barely remember my wife's number, but I can remember my phone number from when I was a child.
Yeah.
714-645-4134. Like, that's
somebody else's number now.
This is like 6 years old I was when I had this number.
Yeah.
It was a song, that's why. It was really kind of a stupid song. 645-4134. 645-4134. You know what it was? They just had a bunch of blanks, and you fill in your number, and then you sing. It does the whole song and plays the melody, and then like it has like a verse that plays, and then it just basically the melody part, and you say those numbers that you filled in during that part. That was like the melody. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. That was my phone number. So someone, when you go back in time, holler at your boy or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Literally, boy.
I'll give 6-year-old you a call and be like, yeah.
I might just respond with, just yeah. Like, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, ELLO. On ELLO, I have. Apparently, my avatar didn't take, because it's not there now. So I've done even less on ELLO than I thought I did.
You actually got rolled back.
I did.
The one thing you did got rolled back.
Yeah.
Well, that is unfortunate.
I can't figure out how to follow you. I see you on here now. And
there's an upper right corner. It says friend or noise. So you can actually classify me as friend or noise, and I will be in that field. And I won't know if you've classified me as noise, which is basically junk, or
weird.
Friends. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yay, we're friends on ELLO.
I don't think I like that very much.
ELLO. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay, Rihanna.
It's okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. That's yeah. That's pretty funny. I actually didn't know who it was who sang that song. That's why I was laughing. I was all like, wait a minute, is that who sang that song?
I think it was.
God damn it.
But yeah, like, so the thing about ELLO is their whole like manifesto thing that they talk about, where they're like, I'm trying to get back to it now. What is ELLO?
Oh, there's like a WTF at the bottom, yeah.
Yeah, like, it doesn't sell ads, nor do we sell data about you to third parties, and like they're never gonna have ads, and they're never gonna sell your information to sell ads, and so on and so forth. And I don't buy it. I really don't. Like, I don't I don't think that is possible. Like, unless they're going to start charging for access to it at some point or something. They got to find a way to keep the servers on.
So that's kind of the plan, actually. The plan is for them to go like this premium route, is microtransaction driven route, where you have access to features by purchasing them. Like an example was being able to manage multiple accounts using one login, which, if you use like Instagram, which is like, I have an Instagram account, and like if you go to it, you're gonna see pictures of everyday life, pictures of my son, and then like a half naked chick. Like it's just a mix of everything. And if I had an easy way to manage multiple accounts, then I would totally do it. And I think they realize this, that people have different things that they want to put on these sites, on these social media outlets. And so that's something that they're going to charge people for. And so it sounds like, it's funny because it sounds like it's like right now we are knee deep in the microtransaction nickel and dime era, right? Like we are in the middle of it. It's everywhere. I could see something like this potentially working, especially if they wrap it up into like, you could buy all these things, or you could get a subscription that gives you access to a bundle of things.
Yeah, I still kind of don't see it working, for the simple fact that social networks are only as good as the other people that are on them. If my friends aren't on
social
Google Plus,
networks,
if my friends aren't on Google Plus, I'm not going to use Google Plus.
Yep.
If my friends aren't on Facebook, I'm not going to use Facebook. I mostly use Twitter because that's where most of my friends are, and I just happen to like the format really well. So I spend most of my time on Twitter. Every once in a while I poke at Facebook, and I have a Google Plus that I haven't looked at in months. Years even at this point. If ELLO is something that, like, if I look at it and I go, none of my friends are here, I'm never going to spend a dime on something that isn't going to reach out to my friends. I'm not going to be like, okay, yeah, I'll spend $10 to be able to post GIFs on ELLO or something, or I'll spend $2 to be able to post GIFs on ELLO if no one's going to see my GIF.
Yeah.
Like, that's pointless. And, like, sure, maybe I can get a bunch of my friends to use, like, the shitty basic version of ELLO. But then, like, I could be doing so much more for free on Twitter. And, like, here's my whole thing with their whole, like, anti-advertiser, you are, like, the whole you are not a product thing that ELLO has been pulling. I would much rather be a product than a customer. Honestly, I would much rather be, like, pampered and taken care of because I am what people are trying to sell to other people, and have the environment be made in a way that wants to keep me there as much as possible, because if I'm not there, they've got nothing to sell. Then, like, from the consumer perspective of me now having to shell out money in order to be able to get something, I have no problem whatsoever with people gathering my information for advertising purposes. In fact, I get kind of annoyed when places don't gather my information for advertising purposes, because the fact is, like, on the vast majority of sites, apparently ELLO is trying to find some way to not use ads, which okay, sure, good luck with that. But other sites that do have ads, like, whenever a lot of them will have, like, the option, like, Google Play, for example, has the option to not collect your information, and then they just give you, like, random ads instead of targeted ads. I would much rather have targeted ads.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm gonna see ads, I'd rather it be for, like, upcoming video games or computer accessories or something that is in some way related to my interests than, hey, check out this new makeup line or something. Like, I don't wear makeup. I'm not interested. Sorry. It's
I went to a gaming site, and it had a Marie Callender's, like, full page takeover. And I was like, oh, all right, that's interesting. But yeah, I see what you're saying. It's like targeted ads is kind of what makes the ad experience better.
Yeah.
I do think it's more annoying to get, a Marie Callender's ad that just makes me hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
And not necessarily to go out and get Marie Callender's, but to go make like a sandwich or a bagel or a Pop-Tart or something. Then, when I could be told, oh, hey, by the way, did you forget that X game's coming out this week? And it's like, oh, crap, I should go buy that game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, ELLO is an interesting position because first, there's a couple things that I think it's missing, right? Or that where they're messing up here. It's ELLO.co. .com is like some kind of nutritional whatever. Like you go and buy pills that do things like make your penis bigger. I have no idea. Maybe that's a side effect or something. But you could buy pills from this ELLO.com. So right there, because you went with .co, you just X'd out like 75% of the average user because they're not going to understand that .co is a functional domain suffix. They're just not going to get it. That's one. And then the other is they went with the invite-only thing, which worked for Google when they introduced Gmail because Gmail was so far beyond any other email, web email app at the time. And so everyone was like, they would see it and they'd be like, wow, it's clean, it's great. It was not.
Yeah, people were like eBaying Gmail invites for like hundreds of dollars at the time.
Exactly, because it was a better product. And ELLO visually looks like there's nothing there. And there really isn't much there. There's nothing there. And so they're not going to get the hype is there because it's new and different, but not because it's better. And different is not enough. If you're going to try to take on Facebook and be the anti-Facebook, you have to actually be better in some way.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And like as much as they want to give the "you are not a product" argument, you still are, because if it isn't for, like I was saying earlier, if your friends aren't there, if I'm not there, then there's less interest for other people to join ELLO and so on. So like, why? You can't tell me that I am not the product, and if you're going to treat it in a way that I'm not the product, then you're just going to have problems in terms of trying to, like, they need to get people here. Like you brought up Google and Gmail as a great example of when an invite system works because Gmail was so good at the time. Google and Google Plus is a great example of when an invite system didn't work, because when people were really, really super excited about Google Plus for that 5 days, that people were really excited about Google Plus, and they were sending out invites like crazy, and then they cut off invites, everybody immediately went, well, now I can't get my friends on here. I'm not interested in Google Plus anymore. Like, it's social media. It's social media. There has to be someone to socialize with to have social media. This is pretty straightforward. So yeah, I now have 2 friends on ELLO.
What's up?
One is the guy that invited me, and one is you.
Yeah.
And I am probably never going to come back to this site.
I keep it open just in case. But I mean, one of the reasons why I jumped all over it, of course, was because I wanted to secure the name, right? So get it there, secure the name, aka Mike B. Woo woo. Of course, half the people that go to look for me on ELLO, like if I say, hey guys, go to ELLO and find me at aka Mike B, they're going to type in ELLO.com/aka Mike B.
Yeah. Yeah. Like at that point, you also just need to think about your branding. Like, yes, there aren't a ton of 4-letter .coms available, if any, 4-letter .coms available anymore. Like, they've all been snapped up at this point. Go for 6 or 7 letters .com before you bother with a .co.
It's okay.
Yeah. Fact is, people don't think about anything other than .com when they're typing stuff in.
Exactly. Control Enter.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, I guess sort of like good for them, and they've got an idea and they're going to try and go for it. Didn't they like accept a whole bunch of funding from people too to get it going? So like they're going to have to find a way to make money back. I don't see them making money back off of like paid extra features that cost money. And honestly, I can only see that going a couple of different directions. Even like if it's something like already you can post GIFs and do all sorts of stuff on ELLO, without having to spend anything. You can post images. You can embed things. Like, cool. You can do all this stuff already. It's gonna get to a point where they're like, okay, so what other features can we add now for our users? And I'm seeing what sort of other things Facebook has done. I don't expect that those will be anything other than annoying. Like, okay, now you have this feature that you can play sounds. Like, oh, great. That's what I wanted. You can embed different websites now in here. Great. Cool. This is exactly what I want in my feed. Like, I don't know. I don't mean to like be super over dismissive of this thing, because like new social networks, I'm always interested to see what they're doing, but I really don't see ELLO going anywhere.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah, I think it was cool that they had the animated GIF thing like from the get go, because even Facebook doesn't support that. Like, I posted an animated GIF and it basically reposted it as a picture, and then you click on the picture and it goes to a picture, not the GIF. Like, I try to upload it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, that part of ELLO is great. Twitter does it, which is awesome. People are starting to, I mean, these sites are coming around, like, you know, things like Vine and Instagram video actually being a thing, you know, especially Vine. Obviously, the moving picture is something that people are interested in. We're going to start seeing, I know it sounds silly, right?
Since the 1920s.
We're going to start seeing more HTML5 stuff like Giphy more WebM formats, stuff all over the place. As a matter of fact, you guys use WebM on a lot of your sites, because I actually had to go there to rip some stuff. We won't talk about it, but I noticed you guys are using nothing. I noticed you guys are using the WebM format for some of your stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, so Blizzard's all over this stuff. All right. And then Facebook's just like womp womp. It's just like proprietary video format, whatever it is, but no animated GIFs. And no HTML5 links.
WebM, does that mean like mobile or something? We have a mobile app.
It's just an HTML5 container, and it's Google. It's being pushed by Google or sponsored by Google.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that's all it is. It loads very, very quickly. I mean, have you ever gone and downloaded HTML5 like versus a GIF? Like, GIFs are bloated, way bloated.
Yeah.
Like a GIF should be compared to like a JPEG, right? And then you go and you download, and then you like with Giphy, right? If you load it's like a 22 megabytes GIF versus a 2 megabyte or something, or 5 megabyte. HTML5.
Yeah, which is hilarious because it is like the video quality is also way better. So
60 frames per second.
Yeah.
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 God damn it. So yeah, that's ELLO. Next week we'll be talking about how ELLO disappeared or something. They pulled the plug. They had an exit strategy with their VCs that they didn't disclose anywhere, and they boop.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Well,
so what you doing in Destiny? You just dinged, actually.
I did. Yeah, I just hit level 24 earlier. Got my first 2 legendaries. I did.
Congratulations.
I was doing a couple of bounties. I got a legendary engram to drop, and it actually gave me a legendary. Thanks, Bungie. And then I did finally did a Queen's Wrath mission and got a legendary out of that. So I'm feeling pretty good about myself now.
Nice.
I'm doing it. I'm doing the things. I'm doing stuff.
Great. You should hurry up and get to 27, I think, because I did Vault of Glass this week. I actually uploaded the entire VOD, right? The video right before this one on the YouTube channel here. and it took about 2 hours. It was my second attempt. We did it once and we didn't beat the last boss, but we were like, it was just a bunch of people who'd never done it, and so it took us like 3 or 4 hours, and we got to the last boss, and it was like 1 something in the morning, and we were just tired. It was the last phase of the last boss, actually.
Oh wow!
But I was super impressed with the mechanics they put in this. Like you've read about it, right? The Vault of Glass people are like, "Wow, I wish they'd put these mechanics in all the strikes." And you know what? While I was running it, I was like, they couldn't put these things in all the strikes because people wouldn't fucking play it. They would get through. They'd be like, "Wait a minute, you know, like this is one thing. We have to. There are all these like drones that are basically flying around. Gorgons they're called, right? And they're like harpy things, little flying things with the tentacles that pop out, right?
Yeah.
And they're just like do. They kind of run around like in this cavern, very like kind of a maze-like cavern, and they're just patrolling these areas. And if they see you, you're dead. Like your entire team wipes. It's called Gorgon Stare. Yeah. So it's straight up. It feels like a Metal Gear Solid type mission where you just have to sneak around and you have to get to the end without like exclamation points. But it's like that was just like one section after, you know, or in between bosses or whatever. There weren't any trash mobs or anything. It was pretty much just like room to room to room. There were like obviously ads for the bosses, but there were no like, you know, oh, here's a pack of trash mobs, just pull them and like, you know, deeps them down and move to the next, you know, pack of mobs. But the mechanics, some of the mechanics they used were like really impressive for a console first-person shooter.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely want to check it out. Finding time to play for 2 hours is difficult. But yeah, it's some I haven't even really done much in the way of strikes until very recently. Like I'm interested to do some in the new patch and see if they've resolved some of the bullet sponge issues, which they said that they were going to. So I don't have any reason to doubt them. And I was super excited to actually finally finish a Queen's Wrath mission because I was just getting dominated before. So I went in with a couple other guys and we managed to work our way through it. And then I got myself a legendary hat. It's super cool.
A legendary hat.
Yeah.
Wait, what are you?
Warlock. I'm a Sunsinger.
Ooh.
Well, I've been very indecisive between Sunsinger and Voidwalker. Like, if I could be Sunsinger and then also somehow still have Void Bolt, like I'd be all over that.
No. Come on now.
Well, like I don't have the self-res yet as Sunsinger, and I feel like without the self-res, you're just kind of like, it's okay. Yeah. Like reducing your teammates' cooldowns is cool and all, but like you kind of have to be semi-organized to use that because most of the time I'll like pop my super and nobody even throws a grenade.
Nobody knows.
Yeah. There's no way for them to really know that, oh crap, now is the time for you to spam grenades like crazy.
Oh, I know. It's so good when you notice. You know, it just needs to be more obvious to the other players because I don't know what that effect looks like on me. Like if I'm standing around and like somebody pops that, like I don't know what that means to me.
Yeah,
like,
and if your stuff is already off of cooldown, like your melee and your grenade for whatever reason, if they're both already off of cooldown, like maybe you're sniping at something or you're just shooting your guns.
Yeah.
Then there's literally no way to tell that the Warlock has taken that talent that causes that to happen.
Yeah.
Because, like, sure, they get the angel wings and they glow and that's cool and all, but the only way for you to tell that your cooldowns are sped up is by watching your cooldowns go faster.
Yeah, that's why I like the and they stopped doing this, of course, to kind of more cleaner interface. But I always liked having a lot of your information centered around around the center of the screen. Kind of like in WoW, like, you know, in WoW, like, you always have this stuff that kind of surrounded the character, like your health and mana and whatever else you want. I liked that. I actually enjoyed that, and I think like first-person shooters, like just take all of my HUD shit and just put it like towards the center. I can figure everything else out.
Yeah, like even Halo had the like shield more central.
Yes.
Than Destiny does. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's big enough in Destiny that you can sort of see it out of the corner of your eye, but like the buffs in the corner, those should be like right next to my crosshair so I ever actually see them. It's not like they're super intrusive.
Yeah, it's like they went for this. They wanted the game to look really beautiful and sacrifice everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, just a little bit. Like the GUI, the GUI could just use a little bit of improvements there. Because again, like you just said, like, oh, I popped my wings and blah blah blah, and it's like, oh, like I've seen that so many times, have had no idea what that means. I just thought that meant that, oh, that guy's about to wreck some face. I didn't know that I could wreck face too.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
and I've done how many 126 matches?
yeah, like most of the time, the wings means it means one of three things.
Okay.
It always means that the warlock has lower cooldowns. Sometimes it means that his teammates also have lower cooldowns. Sometimes it means that he takes way less damage, and sometimes it means he just came back from the dead.
Oh my god! And it's all the same.
It's all as far as I can tell, it's all the same like graphic.
See, yeah.
So like one of them, like it should be glowing white if your teammates have lower cooldowns, or glowing.
All of us should have glowing
blue
white
if you
wings
take less
too.
damage. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, or something on your, like, maybe make your screen glow a little bit, like the screen glow effect that you get. Like, because when you pop that super as the warlock, your screen kind of glows a little bit the entire time. Make the teammates with the lower cooldown screens also glow. Like, there's so many ways to message to people that at least something is going on.
Yeah.
And none of them are being used at the moment. So,
as
far as I'm aware, anyway, I haven't seen a way to be able to tell. So it could be that I just missed it. It wouldn't surprise me if there's something that's just not documented at all anywhere. That seems to be sort of how Destiny works, is you just don't know how anything works. But yeah.
That's the same case for as a Titan defender. Like I'm always getting a bonus shield, right? Like every other ability I have is going to grant me some kind of extra shield to make me more tanky, right? I don't know sometimes if that shield's up when I'm running around until I get shot, because your health bar disappears after a while of when you get out of combat. I don't know if I have that shield up until I get shot, or if I go to aim and I could see the blue, like, extra halo-ish armor or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or a holographic arm, I should say, that is around my arm. Then then that's it right there. But that's the thing, is like I don't know unless I do so, unless something happens, and I should just know. So before I go into a fight, I'm not like, let me throw a grenade real quick and get kind of close to it so I can see if I have the shield up.
Yeah.
I just want to know.
Yeah, I definitely think there's lots of stuff that Destiny just doesn't message to the player very well. And it can be super frustrating too. Like in PvP, like I'll have a shotgun and I'll shoot somebody in the face with it. They'll turn around, shoot me with their shotgun, and I up and die from full health. And I'm like, what? Why? Why did this just happen? And I think it's because their shotgun had higher impact than mine. So even though the attack is normalized, their shotgun did more damage. But there's nothing at all anywhere that says what any of those stats do. So maybe impact means its ability to pierce through walls or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point, and that's something actually that us, Destiny DB, like that's something that we're very seriously considering today. We're talking about it. Like we have all this stuff, and we came across some information about how PvP supposedly works, and we can't really verify that information, but we can test against it. Right. So we are very seriously considering getting into a Rumble, and with like 3 people or whatever, or it was Clash. I think it was Rumble, which is basically just a 6-player free for all. Getting 3 of us in, because you can only have 3 in that particular one. You can't just go in with 6 and pre-made the entire thing. And then running out to a corner and just start shooting each other, and then swapping talents, and then shooting each other, and then swapping weapons, and then shooting each other, and then swapping talents, and then shooting each other. But we were seriously considering doing that because we want to know. The community really, really wants to know what happens when they swap out like one talent, for more armor versus recovery.
Yeah, and even if it's not something to the extent of, like, sure, there's going to be a lot of the more hardcore players that want to know, like, what's the quote-unquote best spec, like, how much in terms of percentage does this actually affect my damage or my survivability and whatnot. But even from the perspective of, like, a casual player, like, it's really, really easy to, like, the shotgun example I was talking about, it's really, really easy to shoot somebody with your shotgun twice, they don't die, they turn around and shoot you once with their shotgun, and you go, this game is bullshit. Like
Uh-huh.
the level advantage obviously exists or something because you don't realize that your shotgun with a magazine of 6 or something does less and a high rate of fire does less damage per shot than their shotgun that has a magazine of 2 and no rate of fire. But will one-shot somebody if you hit them with it. There's nothing that really points that out directly other than there's those bars, but there aren't even like numbers assigned to the bars or anything. Like it's just super opaque in terms of what it actually shows to the user, which is it's a source of frustration. I think it's the sort of thing that people will figure out, and like people like me will read about it on the internet, or like we'll see it on Destiny DB or something, and we'll go, okay, now I understand how this works. But if it's not ever expressing that to new players, like especially since there's like no chat in the game, so you can't be like
communicate that.
Yeah, exactly. How do you tell somebody in game go to Destiny DB? Like you can't at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that I think they need to work on their interface a lot. Obviously, I like the game despite their interface issues, but it's definitely something that they need to work on.
Yeah, we obviously love the game because we've talked about it for so long, and it's because we're playing it. But we're objective too. Like we've played enough games to, we've been around the block a few times. We could say a little thing here and there, whatever. But
I was playing games when your daddy was in diapers.
That could actually be true depending on who you're talking to.
Yeah, that'd be weird though.
Just kind of throwing that out there.
Yeah.
But no, it's overall it is good, and there's a lot of testing that needs to be done. A lot of organized testing that needs to be done. Whether or not we do it or someone on Reddit gets some friends together to do it, like this is a lot of number crunching. Like just for one thing, you'd have to you get like a really shitty rifle, and you go and you shoot your friend a couple times with that shitty rifle, and then you put a good rifle on, you shoot him again. So now you have to just because those two rifles are, you can take everything into account looking at those two rifles. It's like it's the impact, it's the damage, or I guess the clip size, like everything. You have to figure out which one of those things made it hit harder, and then by what percentage, and then you have to like reverse engineer the whole thing to figure out what the actual numbers are. And I mean, from a data perspective, right? We have numbers on the site for each item. There are actually no numbers in the database for the things that you care about, like impact and all that stuff. They don't actually exist in the database itself. Like we have full API access and everything. I know it's going public soon, but we already have it, and it's just not there. So the numbers we have is, we have a couple of theories of what it is. We display it because it does help some people. They could compare things and be like, okay, well, I know what this does, and so I could kind of reverse that when I look at this and think, okay, that's what this is going to do. But honestly, like
you can generally tell what something like range does.
Yes, exactly. Like if it's in the 90th percentile, then that means this, and that's what we think it is. We think it's the percentile versus other weapons in that class, but we won't know until we have something else to compare it to, which is going to be going into a match and shooting each other a few times with these weapons.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yep.
But yeah, overall, it would be nice to have a bit more communication from them. They are very closed off. And they just launched a game. They have a lot of stuff that they're putting out constantly, right? And there's a lot of hype still. So I could see them kind of being a little more focused on that. Basically tightening things up, get rid of loot caves, fixing, engrams. Engrams no longer suck. And doing all that before actually going in and really kind of reaching out and working with other sites and whatnot. I'm just looking at my character sheet now and I'm like, yeah, my invective is amazing. That's that auto shotty. One day you will get one.
One day.
When you grow up.
When I grow up and be a big warlock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Have you gotten the part where you're farming it?
I did some farming the other day. I don't really know if I'm at the part where I'm farming yet because I don't know how to do anything at max level. I've just sort of been like, oh, I'll do the Crucible for a while. This isn't really working. Maybe I'll do some strikes. This isn't really working. Oh, Queen's Wrath. That seems good. I got an epic. Okay. I'm going to just do the Queen's Wrath from now on.
Yeah, the farming part, I mean, anything can be considered farming, like just overall, but the farming part is, right now for me, it's, I have a ton of gear that, and then I only go and do bounties pretty much. I log in, I do like every bounty I can, which is usually like eight or 9 bounties a day, not counting the Queen Strike one. So I probably do like 10 bounties a day. And then all my gear got leveled up, but I couldn't unlock anything because I realized, oh crap, I have every unlock on like my legendary chest or my exotic chest piece, but I can't go anywhere because I don't have the what's it called? The iron ore or whatever. It's the iron something.
Right.
It's the ore that you get from Mars. And so it was like, crap. Oh, how much do I need for like one upgrade? 16. It's like 16 nodes. You know, maybe less because some of them you crit and you get 2, right? I found a route actually. I showed Olivia the route, and so she's on top of it, and she loves it. So she's probably gonna be doing that for the rest of her life. But still, it's just like that's the farming phase. You basically get in and you find a nice loop, you throw on some music, and then you go. The same shit you did in like Diablo or WoW.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, I don't mind the grind in that respect. Like, if I'm getting stuff with some regularity, I'm cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So I think we'll pour another glass of wine, and then throw on some music, and then do a little bit more farming.
What music are you gonna throw on?
I'm actually listening to the new Aphex Twin CD album.
CD.
I'm so old. I know.
Who owns
wow.
a CD these days? All right, Grandpa.
I know. Yeah, it's my new grinder music. It's the first album in like over a decade.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
cool.
it's really good. It's like really really good. It's like he basically just doesn't give a fuck about bro step or any of that. And he just made this say like you listen to it like you've listened to Aphex Twin before, right?
Yeah. I'm having trouble remembering any of their songs off the top of my head.
In that case, you probably heard some of the more weirder mainstream ones, but
probably yeah.
Well, because like he does a lot of really weird glitchy type shit, right?
I
And
like glitchy type shit.
Huh?
I like glitchy type shit.
Then yeah, you might like this. There's not a lot of rhythm so much. It's not like Glitch Mob. It's nothing like Glitch Mob.
Oh.
Yeah.
Less interested now.
Yeah, exactly. It's way more minimal, but it's very relaxing, and it's kind of the stuff. It's some of the music that actually inspired me to start making music. Some of my earlier stuff when I was just making music on my own is actually very very similar. And very clearly inspired by some Aphex Twin stuff. I was very into like the whole like stuttering beats and like really playing with samples and doing crazy stuff. It was like a challenge, but anyways, yeah, this is reflective of the stuff that he was doing way back then. This is like 99 or something like that. Yeah, around that time period. It's good stuff. It's really good. Syro, it's called Syro.
That's weird.
Yeah, and then Skinny Puppy. Skinny Puppy's always good whenever you're trying to, relax.
Yeah.
Some, some industrial, electro-industrial, some ogre,
Yeah.
Also, Aquabats, how's that?
Yeah, Aquabats. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it's about that time for ska to make a comeback.
Yes.
I just had a sudden ska craving the other day, and I was like, oh my god, Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Real Big Fish,
yeah.
Obviously, Aquabats, right? Yeah.
Goldfinger. I was like, yeah.
Oh, Goldfish Don't Bounce. That's the other one. I was trying to remember this band in Vegas that was like really big for a decade, And they just kept swapping out the singer for somebody new, right? Don't bounce. Yep, there it is. Goldfish, don't bounce. Oh my god. Not UK. No, that's not them. Good. Noted. They're a ska band from Vegas. And it was just like it was just good. It was just good stuff. I mean, they were doing ska when nobody cared about ska, which is like, any time in the 2000s, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Telling you, man, it's gonna come back. It's gonna happen.
It would be. Are we right there?
Yeah.
Right freaking there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go on a spree here.
I've been getting back into like some sort of like breakbeat stuff lately. Like
Ooh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Finger Thing. I have a Finger Thing Pandora station now that plays all sorts of cool stuff like RJD2 and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really good. If I had to pick the penultimate track from that station, it would be Walk in Space by Finger Thing. So everybody go check out that song. It's really good.
I'm gonna go check it out right now.
Yeah.
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 Like actually right now while we're listening to this.
Oh.
Oh, hey. Oh, hey. That's not bad. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a old vinyl sound beat.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
It's really good.
Well, you may have just turned me on to something new.
Yeah.
I'm digging this. It's kind of got like a kind of a trip hop, more modern feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Not as slow.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's got the organ in there and well, not really organ, like I guess it's an organ. I'm not really sure what to call it. Like an electric organ sound.
Yeah, no, and it's got the old DJ scratching and everything, which nobody has because nobody has a vinyl anymore.
Yeah.
Wicked. Oh, what is that sound? What does that mean? Oh, it's back in my day, we had.
Grandpa, why does it keep saying wicker, wicker, wicker?
Oh, god damn it! People are gonna be saying that and have no idea what it means.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. Yep. Nope, not. I have a new band or a new. I'm sorry. Well, it says Finger Thing and the Big Red Nebula Band.
I think that was like the title of the title of the album was "And the Big Red Nebula Band."
That's pretty funny. That is really good. Oh man, yeah, I'm into this. I will. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate that.
No problem.
All right. So I'm gonna go listen to this.
Yeah.
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 Yeah.